Okay, so what if you could tackle a nation's biggest problems? I'm talking poverty, corruption, just by reforming one single ancient financial pillar. It sounds pretty wild, right? Well, that's exactly the idea we're diving into today. We're looking at a book called The Architects of Tomorrow, which lays out this incredibly bold blueprint for transforming Bangladesh, really from the ground up.
And this quote, wow, it really gets to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? It basically says there are moments in a nation's life when you just have to stop and reevaluate everything. It frames Bangladesh as being at this critical crossroads, where the old ways just aren't cutting it anymore. And that's the central challenge this whole book was written to solve.
Okay, so what exactly are these challenges that are forcing this big reevaluation? Well, the book argues that even though the nation is incredibly resilient, it's being held back by some really persistent, deep-rooted issues.
And yeah, the list here is pretty stark for a reason. The author points to 4 huge foundational problems. You've got poverty, systemic corruption, social injustice, and inequality. And the book makes it clear, these aren't just, simple policy challenges. They're described as these tangled roots that are holding the entire nation back from reaching its true potential.
But look, this book isn't just here to list off a bunch of problems. Not at all. It's actually all about proposing a solution. So, let's dive into the blueprint it offers for building a different future.
Right, so here it is, The Architects of Tomorrow, Moving Forward by Guru Delawar Hossain. It's framed as this direct, actionable blueprint. And I think it's really interesting that the author dedicates it to the youth and the freedom fighters. By doing that, he's placing this whole plan right inside the larger, ongoing story of Bangladesh's journey.
And this is a crucial point. This isn't just some collection of nice ideas. No, the author specifically calls it a thoughtfully crafted manifesto and a strategic roadmap. I mean, the goal here is nothing less than building a state of profound trust and prosperity. It's really designed to be a call to action.
So the big question is, how do you make this grand vision a reality? Well, according to the book, the entire plan hinges on a pretty revolutionary idea: reforming a single, powerful pillar of Islamic society. And that pillar is the zakat system. And this logo you're seeing? This represents the very heart of that financial plan. It's for a new, centralized initiative for zakat and Islamic social finance. The core argument is that by professionalizing the system, you can actually strengthen the entire national economy. It's a huge claim.
Now, for anyone who might not be familiar, let's quickly break down what zakat is. It's a mandatory charitable contribution in Islam. The book really emphasizes that it's a vital financial obligation for wealthy Muslims, and the funds are specifically meant to go to 8 categories of people, like the poor and the needy, all to make sure that social justice is upheld.
Okay, so we've got the concept down, but how would a system like this actually work on the ground? I mean, what are the nuts and bolts? Well, the proposal outlines this really fascinating blend of grassroots, community-level organization and some pretty modern tech.
Let's start with a number. Just look at this, 4,578. So what is that? That's the number of union-level collectors that would be appointed all across the country. That single number right there, it immediately gives you a sense of the incredible scale and the truly grassroots nature of this whole operation. And this flowchart kind of lays out how it all connects. The whole system is designed to be bottom-up. It all starts with something called a Zakat Corner in every single local mosque. From there, you have those trained collectors who gather the funds. Then, that money is managed by a Zakat Board made up of Imams. And the whole thing operates under the Ministry of Social Welfare, which creates this clear chain of accountability, all the way from the local village right up to the national level. But wait, it doesn't stop there at the community level. The plan also has this really modern corporate side to it. It's called Zakat at Source. Here's how it would work. Commercial businesses would have to use traceable payroll software. Then their zakat liability would be audited and figured out. And finally, the funds would be automatically deducted and sent straight to the national fund. So you're combining ancient principles with modern, traceable financial tech. Pretty clever. So there you have it, a high-tech nationwide zakat system. But how does this very specific, very detailed mechanism actually connect back to those massive national goals we talked about at the beginning? What's the ultimate vision here? This right here kind of brings it all together. On the one side, you have the current, core challenges, and on the other, these incredibly ambitious goals. I mean, we're talking about achieving a global position like Japan or Singapore. The book's central argument, the big idea, is that a transparent, centralized, and massive zakat fund could directly fight poverty and inequality. And at the same time, its formal structure would completely bypass the existing channels of corruption. And by doing that, you build the trust you need for real national progress. Ultimately, the book's message goes way beyond just policy and finance. It ends with this incredibly powerful call for unity. The argument is simple but profound. No plan, it doesn't matter how well designed it is, can possibly succeed without the collective will of the people, all moving together with one spirit, one unwavering purpose.
And so, the Architects of Tomorrow leaves us with this final, big question. A detailed blueprint is on the table, but the author themselves acknowledges that the real challenge is making it happen, the execution. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What does it truly take for any nation to turn such a bold, transformative vision into a reality?